guys. I'm sitting in my car. It's raining. It's kind of loud in the house. I have my son and my nephew in there screaming to the top of their lungs, so I decided to come out here and make a video. Um, so I made a video like this before, but some other things happened and I just wanted to add on to it. But I decided to just do the whole thing over because the other one was kind of long. So basically, I'm 32 years old. This is 2022, just September of 2022. Um, yeah, September of 2022. Basically, I have two children. My daughter's 13, my son is 6, and I've decided to enlist into the military. I look kind of crazy because I have this thing here and I'm growing it out because I don't want to shave my whole head when I go to boot camp, but yeah. Um, so I decided to enlist into the military because things were just getting hard for me. It was hard for me to, like, I was always the type to have like 2 or 3 jobs, but it was getting kind of hard to hold down a steady job. And after I got laid off from my last job, which was a government job, um, things just kind of got rocky for me. Um, so first thing that happened was I got laid off. Um, I actually had a side business going. I bought a food truck earlier this year. I saved up and bought it. So my stepdad ended up like snapping my gas line. So now I got to replace the whole gas line. So that went out of commission. And then, so that was like the bottom bread sandwich. And then on top of that, the cheese was like, I got laid off. And then on top of that, I got evicted from my place. And then on top of that, what else happened? Oh, I ended up losing my car. Well, I still have my car, obviously, but then like, I went to go pick my son up from school, and they were saying like it was a no parking zone, even though there were no signs around that said it. But they ended up like tackling me to the ground and was like, "Oh, your license and all this. We got to take your tag. We got to take your car. We got to take your kids." So I'm like, "Just take the car. I'll walk. Just take the car. Just don't put my name in anything." Because by this time, I was already like I was like 3 days away from going to MEPS. Like this happened on a Thursday, and I was going to MEPS that Monday. So I was like, just keep my name out of everything. Like, just take the car. I don't care. And once I said that, they didn't want to take the car. They were just persistent on just making my life hell. So I was like, I just had no choice but to deal with it. You feel me? So like they threw me on the ground. I got scars and stuff, like all in front of my son and everything. My son is 6, so it was a lot for him to witness. Um, but anyway, yeah. On top of that, and then I ended up losing my other job because I no longer had transportation. Um, so yeah, it's the sandwich is like literally long, really long. Like I've been through a lot the last few months since July, and it's only September, and like literally everything that I worked so hard to get, I lost it within like a month. So yeah, the reason why my license was suspended and stuff and they were doing that because when I got laid off, I didn't have money to pay my car insurance and that lapsed, and then that caused my license to be suspended, which caused a seize tag order on my tag. So that's the reason why I'm parked in front of the house and just sitting in my car. Um and that's the reason why they threw me on the ground and pretty much handcuffed me, and because of the fact that I was like crying and pleading with them not to include my name in any of their reports, they decided to Baker Act me. And if that doesn't make sense, it didn't make sense to me either. But yeah, so all in all, it did not, as far as I know, it didn't stop me from enlisting. Um I'm still currently waiting on some things. My waivers, my dependency waiver, I'm waiting on. Um, so basically, I went to my recruiter. I was like, yo, I need to join. I need the stability. I need to do this for my kids. You know, my mom got my kids. So, I'm free to go off to boot camp, whatever, whatever. I was going to do this process like when I was like 19, right after I had my daughter. And they were like, I mean, they said that I had a ticket, and I just never went and got the ticket taken care of, and I just never ended up going. And that's another thing. I had a ticket again. So I got the ticket first, and then I lost my food truck. Well, I didn't lose it, but my stepdad broke it, and then I got laid off, and then my car insurance went out, and then I got evicted. I lost my car, lost my other job, and yeah, it was just like a big spiral, just a downhill spiral for me. So that's the primary reason why I turned to the military, because I want the stability. I want the stability for me and my kids. Um, on top of that, um, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, I'm gonna be a single parent in the Navy. I've watched like literally every video, and like literally I get like bits and pieces of information here and there. Um, Not all of my questions are answered the way I need them to be answered. So basically, I just wanted to document my experience and basically just put it out there for other people, other single females. Like, I'm not married, I am not in a relationship, and I'm raising my two kids on my own. Well, now I'm living with my mom now. I've been here. Well, I've been to her house. Well, this is a duplex behind me. My mom's house is right here. My sister's house is right here. And I go back and forth to my friend's house. So a couple of nights I'm here, a couple of nights I'm here, and a couple of nights I'm at my friend's house. And I have a friend that also in Fort Lauderdale, but since I can't drive my car, I can't go there. But I just kind of like jump around because I don't want to wear out my welcome. But my kids are primarily here. So that's one thing. Like, I don't have them jumping around. It's just me. I like, people don't want to take care of adults, but they don't too much mind kids, you know? So I'm just here, 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 but my kids are here. So, um, yeah, so basically I went in, I told my recruiter everything that was going on, and she was like, yeah, you're going to have to take care of the eviction, get on a payment plan or something just to get the case closed, the court case. So I was like, okay. So before I even went in there, I went to take care of the ticket, because I'm like, I don't want to do that again. So I took care of the ticket, and I'm like, okay, good, let me go ahead. So I went there, and they were like, okay, you can't have any open court cases. So I went to my complex that I was living in, and I told them, okay, let me get on a payment plan, and we could just close this at the court and just do it between us, you know. So that's what happened. It was the hardest thing in the world to try to get someone to help me pay off what I needed for my eviction. It was the hardest time. Like, I was talking to a dude. He's a veteran, and he basically, he doesn't live on his own, so he drives trucks as well. So he basically just stacks up money, you know. He yeah, he has money, and he could have helped me because I seen him help other people while we were together. But he just didn't want to. So I was like, okay, well, there's no point of us having a relationship, because whenever you need something, I spend my last dime making sure you have it. And when I need something, you can't even go in your pocket to at least help me halfway, a quarter of the way, something. Like, you can't do anything. So I was like, yeah, there's no need to continue this. So we ended up breaking up. Um, a couple of guys came up to me, was trying to talk to me, but they couldn't help me either. So I'm just like, you know what? If I got to do this on my own, I'm going to do this on my own. So, um, a friend of mine that lives in Texas luckily came through for me and loaned me the money, and I got that taken care of, and I moved out. I got my stuff in storage now. Um, well, I have some stuff back here. Those are like my clothes that I wear like every day. And then I also have a truck parked in my mom's yard on this side. It's stuff with a lot of stuff, like my picture frames, a couple of boxes, everything like that. And then everything else is in storage. Um, but pretty much, yeah, all of that was a hassle, along with, I got to pick my kids up, take them to school and stuff. And while I'm in the process of trying to move out, that's when all this junk with the cops happened. And then they're trying to like have me in this freaking mental hospital with all these mental patients and stuff. And then when they took me there, the doctor was actually leaving. So that means now I got to stay there overnight. And I'm like, bro, I got another child to pick up from school. I got to move out of my house before the first. Like, I don't have time for this. And the cops just kept lying and lying and lying about what he say I did. And he's like, oh, she threw the phone at me. And I'm like, my skin is black. Don't you think that if I threw a phone at you, I wouldn't be in a mental hospital? I would be in jail and I would have been arrested a long time before they put the handcuffs on me. So don't even come at me with that. You feel me? So I'm not going to talk too much about it because I am going to go the lawsuit route. Like, I haven't done anything yet because I don't want my name in anything at this point until I get my contract. Once I sign my contract and I'm officially a seaman, I am not seaman. I am not trying to get my name in anything. So yeah, it looks like my lip is like, but yeah, so that was that. I ended up getting out. They said there was nothing wrong with me. They were going to lift it and everything. And so I finished moving out of my place. Um, I ended up coming over here, and then I stayed at my friend's house for like a good little minute because I just needed to get away. That messed with my head a little bit. Like, I'm really fighting the whole world on my own, basically, with 2 kids on my back. You feel me? So that just kind of messed me up mentally, and I just felt defeated for a minute. So I had to get away and just kind of recollect my thoughts and kind of build my strength back up to just go back out and try to fight on my own, which is where I'm at the point now. So there's been some back and forth between me and the recruiter. Well, not me and the recruiter, but me and the recruiter and Big Navy, basically. They're trying to make sure that my kids are taken care of. And my kids, they both have different fathers. Neither one of the fathers has ever seen the kids, not because of me. Like, if they call me right now and say, hey, I want to see my child, by all means, I'm not going to stop a dad from seeing his child. But they never even wanted to come through. So I never put their name on the birth certificate. My daughter's dad, I did put him on child support when I was younger. But he never really paid anything, so I never really enforced it. I was just like, you know what, I've been taking care of her. What's the point of even trying to force him to do it? Just let him, whatever. So because of I put him on child support, the state ended up putting his name on her birth certificate. So when I turned the birth certificates into my recruiter, when they sent it all up and everything, they were like, oh, he can, if anything happens to me, he can come back and try to sue basically the military, saying that he's the rightful custody. He has custody over my daughter, so he has all rights to any benefits that she would get. So they just didn't want that legal issue to bump heads or whatever. So I had to basically sign a letter of desertion saying that, hey, I don't even have contact with this dude, in which I don't. Last I heard, he was in prison, and I really don't keep up with him like that. So I don't talk to either one of my kids' fathers, but my phone number has been the same since I met them. So if they wanted to contact me, they know how to contact me. But anyway, enough about them. So basically, I had to sign the letter, get it notarized, saying I don't talk to him at all. There's no contact. There hasn't been contact for years, almost a whole decade. And yeah, and she sent that off. That was like literally the last thing I just did. I just met with her last week. Um, was it last? Yeah, last week, I think. Yeah, like Thursday or Friday of last week, I just met with her. So hopefully I should be hearing something back soon. This week has flown by. Um, but basically I'm just sitting here like jobless. All day yesterday and today I've been filling out job applications of stuff around here, around near where my friend lives, something I'll have easy access to no matter what place I go to. Um, but yeah, I'm just basically at a point where I'm just trying to build myself up. Like, I'm 32 now. Like, I should be settled. I should be in a career. I should have degrees, Like, I should have all of this stuff, but I chose a different route to basically have my kids first and then go chasing my dreams, because I don't want to be 40 years old and pushing out a baby, you know? So I decided to have my kids young. And had I went through with the military the first time I went, like, I probably would have never had my son. I would have still been active military, and I would have been on my way to retirement right now. And I would have been living the life with only one child that's 13 now. And, she could stay home and keep herself at this point. So I look back and I'm like, dang, I should have joined when I only had the one little ticket that I had to worry about. Now it was the ticket, the eviction, the cop incident. It was just so much. Like, every time I got over one hurdle, here comes another. And it's like, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger too. I felt like, my life is just out of control at this point. Like, I have no idea what I've done in my life to make my life the way it is right now, or what I just had to go through. But I'm like, you know what? I'm seeing this as a blessing, because if I'm not driving my car, I can't be under the radar of any cops, and I can't, get any tickets, I have, cops can't bother me because I'm stationary. I'm either here, or at my friend's house. I'm not out in the streets, or I'm picking up my son from school, or walking my daughter home from the bus stop, or running up and down the street here working out. That's the only time you're going to see me outside. Like, I don't really go anywhere. So I just see it as, like, I'm trying to stay positive about it, seeing it as a blessing in disguise. But I'm always the type that I don't like staying home, which is the reason why I always had multiple jobs, because I don't want to stay home. And that's kind of getting to me, because that's all I'm doing is just, I'm in the house, like, all the time. Like, all the time I'm in the house, and it just kind of gets to me. So I'm basically coping with that, and, you know, I'm looking for some income to come in, because I don't have any right now. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much where I am. And, I'm trying to think of other ideas of how I can open my food truck again without using the gas. And I came up with a couple of ideas, but, you know, only time will tell. And, my first priority is always, whatever the military, whatever I need to get into the military, that's what my focus is. I'm dropping everything and trying to get that done. Other than that, it's basically just trying to get an income, just trying to have a steady stream of income, trying to get my food truck back open, because I don't know if I'll be based here. I am going active duty. Um, so I may or may not be based here. I may be based in Europe. I may be based in Asia, South America. I don't know. And I am trying to be a nuke. I did score very well on my ASVAB, which is pretty nice, because I know there's people that are like fresh out of high school that scored like 50 and 60, and I'm like, wow. And I scored high, like, and I'm like almost 15 years out of school. So and I didn't even study. Like, I just went in there and winged it. Like, I walked into my recruiter's office, no appointment, nothing. I just walked in there and was like, yo, sign me up. And they put the test in front of me. I didn't study or anything, and I passed with flying colors. But yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now. I could go more into detail, but this video would literally be like an hour long, and I ain't trying to hold nobody up like that. So I got a phone call coming through and whatever. But yeah, so definitely I will be splitting up everything that pretty much happened. I'll probably make a separate video for each thing, because all of it in one video is just entirely too long. But yeah, so I'll go ahead, and after this one I will post on the other ones, including the one about my MEPS experience, my experience of being a single parent in the military. Oh, by the way, I'm going to the Navy. Navy, baby. But yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that before, but yeah. So also, I could make a video about why I chose the Navy, what influenced me, or who influenced me, I should say, my background, my military background, with my family. I have a whole bunch of video ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. I'm going to post this one, work on that. And then if you guys want to see more, definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell. And especially if you're an older single mother of kids, a kid or kids, definitely subscribe, because that is basically my niche. That's what I'm going to definitely be talking about this whole time. So, yeah, make sure y'all subscribe and stay tuned. And I'll hit you guys up later.